Talk to Me Tuesday. It's your girl Anja, and I'm here with one of the most incredible singers that I have the privilege of performing with, being around, loving on. Oh my gosh, he just got off of a gospel tour that was a national tour, and he has agreed to come on my show and give me an exclusive look into what he's been up to. He's been touring with the likes of Kirk Franklin. Say Okay, so let's get into it. Please help me welcome my guy, Malcolm Brown.
What's
Hi,
up, guy?
Malcolm. How are
Hey,
you?
hey, Anja. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm so good, Malcolm. All right, so before we get into the tour that you just wrapped up, can you please tell me when did you know you were going to become a singer? Where did that come from?
Well, so music is like literally in my blood. My mom sings, my grandmother sings, the other side of my family, my dad's side, they all play musical instruments. So music has literally all been in my blood. So I started singing when I was like 6. I didn't really take it serious until like probably when I was like 10. So from then on, the rest is history. I've just been basically singing all my life and growing up in church, that's kind of like the things that we're accustomed to. So just really toning in on my craft in my teen and adult years, and just getting experience and everything like that. But yeah.
So do you have pressure since your family is really musical? Is there pressure to like go pro?
There was when I was younger, but not really, not now. I don't feel any type of pressure. I mean, music is who I am. So the goal has always been music. um some form of music, whether it be behind the scenes or in the front of the stage, or some type of creative kind of career path. So not anymore, but there was when I was younger, definitely, for sure.
Why gospel? Why not another genre? Or do you
I
do
mean,
other genres?
so, and it's funny because I get this question a lot. So I like all types of music. Just
Mm.
because I sing gospel doesn't mean I don't listen to R&B, rap, hip hop, all that great stuff. For me, well, if we really look at music history, a lot of music comes from gospel. Like a lot of our roots, a lot of where we come from, a lot of our history, comes from gospel. Even the slaves used to sing hymns and things of that nature. So for me, it's just my personal connection with God. I believe that the gift that I was given was supposed to magnify him. So it's not that I don't like other genres or I would never pursue a career in other genres. It's just, for me, gospel feels like home. Christianity feels like home for me. So that's just where I've been. If God opens another door, who knows? I could go into another genre, but for now, yeah, gospel's my home for right now.
So how do you train? Like what kind of training did you have to do to become you?
So I encourage all of anybody who sings, who dances, who has any type of craft. Practice is literally like your go-to. Like, I make sure that I sing something every day, no matter if it's singing in the car or actually sitting down and going over some pieces. I do have like audition pieces that I go over at least once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week. So I'll like go through those and sit down and like do self critiques, or I'll phone a friend if I know someone who's more educated in the voice department. Then I'll ask tips, or I'll ask my friend Kareem, or it's there are a lot of different things that you can do. But for me specifically, I make sure that I sit down with some type of music every day and just sing through it. Just because the voice is a muscle, so you got to work your muscle every day just to get stronger and to get better.
All right, so our lives cross paths at Six Flags. So how did you even get to Six Flags? Let's start there before we go to all the amazing current things you're doing. How did you get to Six Flags?
So I actually started working at Six Flags when I was in high school. So,
Oh,
um, yeah, so I started in 2015. I didn't start singing there or dancing. I was actually a lifeguard. A lot of people don't know that.
no, you weren't.
Yes, I was a lifeguard. So when I was in high school, I actually was on the swim team. So I love to swim. I love the water. I'm a water sign. So um, um, I love to swim. So I was like, this is a cool summer job. So I swam. Well, I was a lifeguard from 2015 to 2017, and then But in all of the off seasons for aquatics, I always did Fright Fest, and I was like,
Okay.
how do I get into entertainment? Like, by the time that I had already signed on to do some type of job, they had already casted everybody, so I was always late. So at the end of well, actually, no, I did 2015 and 2016 as a lifeguard. So at the end of 2016, when I was doing Fright Fest, I got my way to one of the entertainment management team, somebody from the entertainment management team, and I let them hear me sing. I let them know that I could dance, and they invited me out to come to auditions the following season. So I auditioned, and I didn't make it the first time. So I was an usher. I think I'm getting my years wrong, but I
Okay.
started performing 2017. Uh,
Okay.
yes, the I started performing 2017, and that was during Fright Fest. And yeah, the rest is history. I finished until like 2019. So.
Hold on. I literally had no idea that you went from being a lifeguard to an usher. Like, why would
Mhm.
they make you an usher? You're so incredible. Like, that's just
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, there are a lot of people. Well, me specifically, there is more to as a dance member at any institution or any job place. There's more than just getting on stage and doing the show, getting on stage, doing lines, whatever the case may be. And I was lacking in a couple of those areas as it pertains to like my punctuation and making sure I'm there on time and da 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 da. At the same time, I was only like 17, 18. So, this was like I didn't really care at the time. So I had to like position myself to really like be intentional about being on time and wanting to be here. So as soon as I got that together, then of course the rest is history.
I do not want to gloss over that because I think you said two things that were kind of incredible. So one thing that you said was that like you had some areas outside of your talent that you needed to work on, and I think that that is true. Like you were young, and I love that you figured out that like that's hindering me performing, which now years later, I'm pretty sure on tour you need it to be on time and you can figure that out, right?
Yeah.
And then the second thing is I want everybody to take away that you used your other passions and your other talents to get you to the stage, which I think is important.
Hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Like, um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into getting on a stage wherever you are. And you just got to use what you have to kind of open those doors. And it was nothing but the grace God for me because being in the dance cast at Six Flags taught me a lot. Like I went through a lot of different things, both positive and negative. I learned so much about myself, about my body, about my mental health, about my physical health. So definitely like and do what you got to do. Like the entertainment industry is very, very unpredictable. There's not always
Predictable.
work for people like us. So um there's not always work for people like us. So we have to do what we have to do. Always maintaining your integrity, keeping your character in line, keeping your heart right. But, do what you have to do to get those doors open. And, everything worked out the way it was supposed to. I wouldn't change a thing. And, I have nothing but love for the people that were at Six Flags while we were there. So, yeah, I'm good.
So, when you didn't make it the first time, why did you decide to try it again?
So because I didn't want to give up. I didn't want to give up. I didn't love the fact that I was an usher, but even from an usher's position, I still learned a lot. Like I was able to, be around the dancers and learn the ins and outs and know what I had to do. And I even as an usher, I was still learning choreo. Like I was the tech for the dance cast rehearsals. So I would be up in the booth, press and play, press and stop, going back, rewinding all that stuff, but in the same environment, I was able to, pick up some things and learn certain terms and, just learning a lot. So I'm a student at heart. And I'm very I observe a lot. So if you ever meet me, like if I don't talk, just know that I'm watching. And yeah, I was still able to learn so much even as an usher.
Very cool. So, We love Six Flags. I love what it did for you. So let's just jump into what you just currently got into. Let's talk about it. You just finished a tour. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I had the greatest opportunity to go on tour with Maverick City and Kirk Franklin with my group called Faith City Music. So we recently just dropped an album October 28th. And throughout the pandemic we were still, of course, having church services, but of course, because it was a pandemic, we couldn't have them in person, so we flipped everything virtual. And for us, and I believe for the whole world, this was something that we've never done before, so we were just literally doing what we could to do what we would regularly do, in a regular church service. So from there, we really started picking up traction on social media. And when we finally dropped our album, people were just like blown away. And we were able to go on tour with, Kirk Franklin and Maverick City, and we did 6 dates with them. It was completely amazing. Like, I've never experienced anything like that.
Okay,
Shout out to
stop.
Faith City.
Hold on.
Okay, okay,
Hold on. Because
okay,
we're about to like go all the way with this. I got questions. I got questions.
okay, okay. Got it.
Okay, cool. So your team that you're on, is that linked with a church or is that completely different? How does that work?
So Faith City Music is the praise and worship team at my church, Spirit of Faith Christian Center. We recently just put the artistry hat on. So we come from a ministry. We come from a church, and we are now branding ourselves as the artist Faith City Music.
Ooh. And there's like how many of you about?
Yeah. We have a lot of different people. I'm trying to think. So the main, so we're about a team of probably like maybe 15 or 16 of us. And then we have like um some gospel artist members like Bree Babineau, Kim Burrell, the legendary Kim Burrell. We have the legendary and Grammy nominated Miranda Curtis, who I love so much. So we have those three wonderful, wonderful women as part as well. And then of course we couldn't do anything without my mentor, my brother, and my pastor, Pastor Tim Bowman Jr., who's been in the game for a very, very long time. Grammy nominated Tim Bowman Jr. So there are a lot of us. I would say about like roughly like 15 or 16 as relates to like singers. And then we have, of course, those three women that I introduced, and then of course Tim Bowman Jr., who's our leader. So yeah, it's a lot of us. However, all of us weren't able to go on tour with Maverick City and Kirk Franklin, so we had like just a small portion of the group to go with us, and then Bree Babineau joined us, and also Miranda Curtis joined us on some days as well.
So were you always a part of this group since it is from like a church, or did they like join and bring you in? How did that work?
So yeah, I've been a part of Faith City Music since the beginning. So when Tim Bowman Jr. joined our ministry, he when he joined, he saw, he had a vision of what God was speaking to him. And so he crafted what is now known as Faith City Music. And I've been there since the very beginning, because we actually did a live recording back for New Year's at the end of 2019. But because of the pandemic and everything, we didn't actually get, we weren't able to get the music out to the public until the fall of 2022. But I think the time gave us a lot of opportunity to really know ourselves and get to know our sound, get to know our voice. So I think the timing was perfect. And I it was just amazing. And on top of all of that, I don't know if you know this, but because we were able to inspire so many people throughout the pandemic, Faith City Music was inducted into the Smithsonian. So there'll be an exhibit of Faith
What?
City Music there'll be an exhibit of Faith City Music in the African American History Museum in 2023.
No way.
Yes.
That is so cool. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, that's so cool. I love that. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so you find out you're going on tour, and what is your emotions? How do you feel? Like not just any tour, but like a mega gospel tour with like greats. Like what do you feel?
Yeah, so I mean, I was excited. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I've never been on a tour before. So I was very, very anxious. I knew that it was going to be a lot of work. I knew that I was going to be tired, but when you're doing what you love, none of that really matters. I've never had a greater passion for anything else in my life. So it was definitely a learning experience. Same for, Six Flags. I learned a lot about me as an artist. I learned a lot about my voice. I learned about, mental and physical health, just making sure that you keep yourself, healthy for it. Cause, tours, that was to me, even though it was a big opportunity but we only did 6 dates, but if Faith City Music was to ever go on tour in its own entity, I don't know how long that would be, being away from home and missing your friends and your family. So, um, yeah, it was an amazing experience. I was like really, really nervous, but here I am on the other side, and I wouldn't, trade the experience for anything else. It was amazing.
You said only 6 dates? Oh my gosh, like, only because like, we got Atlanta, we got Texas. You guys hit, like,
Yeah.
all the like, bam, 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 bam. What was it like to fill an arena full of people and, like, people are and you're singing? Like, tell me how it was for you.
It was such a surreal moment. There was a part of the show at the end of our first song where we like fall out on the ground. And when I fell out, I was on my back and I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. Like I feel like a rock star. Like, and
Rockstar.
yeah, it was amazing. I was like, I can't believe I'm here. Just like looking back, just from when I was at Six Flags and we were doing our shows there. I would have never thought in a million years that this would be the position or the place that I would be. So it was amazing. I mean, I hope I was able to describe it. It was so cool. It was so cool.
No, I mean, I hope anybody watching can totally feel the love you have for it because like I've been there. Like it is something magical, right? And I know I never took any of that for granted. Every
Mhm.
day you walk on stage, especially in an arena like sold out, it's just the energy they give back to you is just something you could only like dream of as a child. Yeah.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so what was your like ritual? Do you have, I know like some athletes and some artists have like some ritual they do before they go on stage or like in the dressing room. Is there anything you did?
Um, well, I'm trying to think. So, well, for me, this is a little goofy, but I would always like get in a little corner and I would just like start jumping and get the juices flowing and because I was nervous, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever not been nervous. Especially for our very first show, I was like completely nervous, and of course, like we would pray and everything, and you know but I'm willing to and open to like develop another ritual or anything. It was like really, really small, but hopefully if we ever go on tour again, I'll have something a little bit more, uh I don't know, something new. Who knows?
It doesn't have to be anything big. I mean, like some people are like, I just take 3 deep breaths before I like go into it. So whatever works for you works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just so excited to talk to you because I feel like you have grown so much since when we crossed paths. And like, I knew were really good about checking up on me like during the pandemic, like, you good, you good. And I like
Yeah.
appreciate that so much because, like, I mean, were we good? Like,
Yeah.
the world and the arts in particular was like crumbling. I was like, I don't know if I'm
Yeah.
good. um, so, anyways, tell us some challenges that you face being a singer and an artist.
um so and I think I mentioned this a little earlier, but the entertainment industry, whether it be, singing or dancing or anything entertainment, the business is very unpredictable. So I've faced a lot of challenges as it pertains to like image. Um, I am a bigger guy, so for a lot of people, I guess the look of it all hasn't always been what they have been keen to or something that they wanted to see. However, I think just because of the anointing that's on my life and where God has placed me, I feel like I've been able to walk through many, many doors and meet a lot of different people and been able to sing behind some of the greats and honor some of the greats. But that's definitely been a challenge. Also, just like keeping up with your voice. Like, I didn't tell a lot of people this, but when I was on tour, I actually caught the flu. So there
No
I was
way.
like for yeah, I actually caught the flu, and that for like a week I was going through a lot of voice trauma, and it hurt to sing, and it's just like one of those things. Like, what do? You're on tour, and you're here because of your voice, and now you can't really use your voice. So, like, I was like, am I gonna get cut? Are they gonna send me home? I didn't really know what to do, but I have such an amazing team and an amazing group um, that was with us, and they were able to give me some steps to kind of get my vocal health together. And no, they didn't send me home, but they just kind of guided me in a way to where that I could be at 100% again. So shout out to you guys again. I really love and appreciate you guys. But yeah, just maintaining your vocal health has been a challenge. Making sure that I have enough energy to do all these shows, like, and we had a 30-minute show for all of the cities that we went to, and I've never encountered anything like that before to that level. And having the energy to give to an arena is that it was a lot. So being able to have the energy to do that was a challenge for me, because just like I've never done this before, and there's so many people and they're all going crazy and screaming. So just having to endure that was definitely a challenge, but it got easier as we went along. I'm not going to say that I'm perfect or I'm a master at it in any way. There are certainly different areas that I can improve in, but that was definitely a challenge for me. So, and I don't know if I can think of it anymore. I think that was it.
Oh, that's good. That's I think a lot of people think you just get up there and like sing or you get up there and like dance, but like cardio and like and then getting your like oh yeah, it's a lot. And then your heart
Yeah.
is beating and you're trying to like make sure you know what you're doing. So your mental's clicking, like, and
Yeah.
then like all these people are like around. Yeah, it's a lot of feelings on top of trying to execute, what the gift God gave you. It's a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
And you gotta make it look easy, right? You gotta make it look effortless.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a challenge, but I made it through.
What was it like touring with, like, the other people that wasn't necessarily a part of your group, but, like, the Kirk Franklins and, like, did you
Yeah,
get a chance to,
so
like, meet them? How was that?
yeah, I got a chance to meet Chandler Moore and Naomi Rain from Maverick City, and of course the legend Kirk Franklin. And they're just so wise, and just being able to listen to them and for them to be able to pour into us while we were on their tour was just absolutely amazing. And they had nothing but great things to say about our performances. So it was very, like, again, like a surreal moment, just being able to see them physically and be able to talk to them, and and just learn. And like, even some of the shows after we did our set, we would come back out and watch them do their set, because it was their show. So we would come out and we would watch their set and just be sitting there like, wow, like, to say that we're a part of this. And this tour that we just went on was the biggest gospel tour in history. So to be able to be a part of history was it was amazing. And shout out to Maverick City, Chandler Moore, Naomi Rain, and the legendary Kirk Franklin. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate and honor you guys. And just thank everyone who I met. The choir directors and the band members and the whole Maverick and Kirk Franklin team. Like, they treated us so well. They were very hospitable, and I really appreciate that.
So I know when I get close to people that I think are just incredible and like amazing and like on a whole nother level. My dreams just skyrocket like to a whole nother level. So when you're around these people, did you start thinking like, "Oh, I belong here. Like, oh, I can take this to an even bigger level." What was that like? Did you have that
Yeah, I
same kind of
mean, yeah,
yeah.
I did. I mean, now like the sky is not the limit, you know? And just from being a part of the tour, like my dreams have definitely increased and elevated. Like I was like, maybe one day we can, headline our own tour and, do this ourselves. And, there's so many avenues that I think that Faith City Music can go into, like, TV and film, or having our own podcast, or having our own radio show, and or something like that. It's just like, there's so many things that we could do, and just being around and or in that environment will make you feel like that, and just make you feel like you can do anything in the world. And really you can, if you set your mind to it. You guys can do anything you ever want. So dream big, dream big,
Dream huge.
dream huge.
Yes. Okay, so I know that you got some footage of you when you walked on the tour bus. What was the tour bus like for you?
Mm. So tour bus life was great. It was great. It was something that I wasn't used to. So we traveled with about um let me see, we traveled with about maybe 15 to 16 people on one bus. And the bus was only um it was only supposed to sleep about 12 people.
Yeah, that's what
So
I
we
thought.
had yeah, so we definitely had to make some arrangements so everybody was comfortable. But it was an amazing experience. Like, I don't know what a lot of people think about those tour beds, but those tour beds are like great. Like, I had the best sleep on that tour bus.
Okay, hold on. Let's get into that because so on my tour bus, it was like bunk, bunk, bunk. Which one did you ever sleep in? What like lay down in the top, the
I
middle,
was
or the bottom?
I was on bottom. So the only like problem I had was like kind of getting on my hands and knees to like roll into my bunk. Actual bed felt pretty cool, and I got some good
I
sleep. So,
agree.
it
I
did what it needed to
agree.
do.
That bed was like nice, and it was good to have the option to like just lay flat.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. I mean, the bus was amazing, and it was real nice. We had a little kitchenette. We had of course, your freezer and refrigerator. So everything, all the everything
TV
that I could
screen.
could have thought of. Yeah, we had TVs, and we had Wi-Fi, and you could charge your phones wherever. So everything I thought of was there. So I was just happy to be on the bus and be on tour.
Me too. Those things are beautiful. So if you guys ever get a chance to be on a tour bus for whatever reason, sign up because you feel like you Beyonce. Oh my goodness. Okay, so last words of wisdom. I know that you have given so many gems throughout this whole interview process, but like anybody who's trying to break into the music industry, anybody who feels like they're stuck at maybe a job that isn't for them, like what advice do you have to make it as a
um,
singer?
Yeah, I would definitely say one, always work on yourself. There's always improvements that you can make. Like I said, I rehearse every day. There's not a day that goes by without me using my craft or using my talent, or yeah, so always rehearse every day. And then the biggest thing for me is community. Like, get around people who have the same dreams, the same aspirations as you. My pastor always says, if you're the smartest person in your group, then you need to get a new group. Or if you're the richest person in your group, you need to get a new group, because you need to create a space and an environment where you can grow. And community is going to help you grow. They can keep you accountable. They can give you ideas. If you ever need help, they can help you do that. So I really thank God for like my community as it relates to my artistry, but also my friends that I have on a day-to-day basis. Like, my friends and my artist friends, they look very similar because we all have the same interests, we all have the same aspirations and goals. So get around a group of people who can really help push you and motivate you and keep you on track. And like I said, keep you accountable.
I love that. Okay, so of course, let me think. Anything you want to add to anything that you've said about, like, I know you just gave me some words of wisdom, so, but if but if there's like anything about like just staying true to yourself, because I just know that you just like you've had some obstacles, and I feel like you're just shining so bright that like all these negative things that were ever said to you, you're kind of like, I just got off tour. So like anything about just showing up as yourself.
Yeah, I mean, being true to who you are is definitely something that you need to hold near and dear to your heart. People are going to say things that you don't like. They're going to be haters. Haters are haters, and we can't get mad at them for being haters. That's what they're supposed to do. And everyone's not going to agree with you. Everyone's not going to think you're the best. But being true to who you are and also being confident, but in the same breath, also being humble, because there are many people who could be in your position. So, even though I just got off the tour, when my friends ask me and they be like, "Oh, you're famous, you're this, you're that," and I'm like, "No, guys, I'm not." I'm very humble in the position that I'm in, because there could have been somebody else in my spot. So, just really making sure that you have integrity, and making sure that your character is and your heart is in line, and just being who you are unapologetically, when you walk into any room that you're in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Malcolm. Like, you have been such a blessing to my channel. I'm so glad I was able to catch you. Do you want anybody to follow you anywhere, like on social media or anything?
Yeah, so I'm mainly on Instagram. So if you look me up, it's Malcolm MALCOLMTB music. That's where you can find any updates on my life. But if you also wanted to follow our my group page, is called Official Faith City Music, on Instagram as well, and our YouTube as well as Official Faith City Music as well. So if you guys want to follow us, and we have a bunch of videos and clips from tour. I just posted up a few things as well. So yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to put all his information below in the bio so it's easy to find him. You guys have been watching Talk to Me Tuesday. It's your girl, Anja. You guys can follow me at it's your girl underscore Anja. Once again, it's your girl underscore ANJA. And until next Tuesday, check my guy out. Bye, everybody. Thank you, Malcolm.
Thank you.